Cameroon is one of the few countries in Francophone Africa that has begun with the implementation of the Access and Benefit Sharing ABS process, a concept of the 1992 Convention on Biodiversity and the 2010 Nagoya Protocol, which calls for a fair and equitable distribution of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources and their related traditional knowledge. Cameroon's pilot ABS project is focused on a herbaceous perennial plant, Echinops giganteus, in Magha-Bamumbu on the southern slope of Mount Bamboutos, Libialem Division, southwest Cameroon. This plant was located in Magha-Bamumbu in 2012 by a French charity, Man Nature, through a Cameroonian conservation non-profit organization, the Environment and Rural Development Foundation ERuDeF, who has conducted surveys on various plant species in this area since the early 2000s.
ERuDeF has been working in this region since the early 2000s, and it has been exploring, doing biodiversity surveys. We're interested in biodiversity, and we conducted plant surveys. And we had this species there. And recently, 3 years ago, the French company Man Fils was interested in this species. And it happens that we have surveyed it, and consequently, we established a relationship between the Man Fils company in France and ERuDeF, and then this community. And of course, it is also found in a couple of communities around here. But because it is the first time that Man Fils wants to experiment this, it did not want to involve several communities. So it decided to choose Magha as the starting point.
With the location of this plant, a French fragrance and flavor company, Man Fils, which has discovered the potential value of the Echinops roots for the fragrance industry, decided to valorize the plant following the Nagoya Protocol of 2010.
The way we approach those projects is through the lens of the Nagoya Protocol. The Nagoya Protocol was a piece of legislation that has been ratified now by more than 60 countries. So most of those countries have now a legal framework that guides companies to access and share the benefits of the use of this biodiversity through different schemes, monetary and non-monetary.
This procedure commenced with the signing of the pre-prior informed consent, pre-PIC, with the local community of Magha-Bamumbu. This permitted ethnobotanical surveys and agronomic studies to be carried out on the domestication of this plant. The pre-PIC signing gave Man Fils the permission to access this genetic resource. Being Cameroon's pilot ABS project, and coming at a time when there was no legal instrument governing the implementation of the Nagoya Protocol, there is bound to be some brainstorming between the implementing company, Man Fils, and the Ministry of Environment, Protection of Nature and Sustainable Development, MINEPDED. This culminated in the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding on the use of genetic material from the Echinops roots. Besides ERuDeF and Man Nature, there are other international organizations that are contributing to the implementation of the Access and Benefit Sharing process in Cameroon. In 2015, for instance, the Jeff Small Grant Project of the UNDP contributed in ensuring dialogue and negotiation of a first ABS agreement between the Cameroon government and the user company, which materialized with the signing of the mutually agreed terms MAT commercialization in April 2015.
Jeff Small Grant Project intervened in this project was a signing, facilitating the negotiation and the signing of MAT. MAT is the mutually agreed term. These are condition and modality that present how the route or how the selling of the product will be done. They must stipulate the non-monetary benefit and the monetary benefit. For the case of Echinops, the monetary benefit were from the sale, were going to come from the sale of the route themselves, and the non-monetary benefit were based on the equipment that the company was supposed to supply to the university, the scholarship that the company was supposed to give to the student from that particular locality, and the research, the other research activity that were supposed to be carried out by the university concerning the plant.
With the signing of the mutually agreed terms commercialization, the people of Magha-Bamumbu have been highly involved in harvesting Echinops roots.
Then we will use hoe to move the ground. We don't use hoe so they will open, and so after that we'll use diggers or we'll use a spade. When we use a spade now, we dig and then we'll move ground. After digging, we take them for water. Then we dig, then we wash and find me the thing no day.
After harvesting, the roots are washed and cut into various sizes, as recommended by the cosmetic and perfumery company in France.
The white man may tell you say we cut them around 5 cm. So when we cut them now, so it will be easy for dry. And if we cut them over small, then the gap the way they for dry station, where they don't make them for that place where they dry, it will fall for down. So now I will cut the 5 cm. So
after washing and cutting, the Echinops roots are now set for marketing. They are carried in bags by men, youth and women to the drying station established by Man Fils and ERuDeF for the drying of Echinops roots before exportation. The sales of the roots of this plant is greatly improving the living standard of many people in Magha-Bamumbu.
We use the money to send our children in school. They came by. We use the money in planting our farms.
Seeing that as a teacher, that money is helping the parents to pay school fees for their children.
The money which we will get from it will help my village, and then they will have to solve so many of their problems. They will have to pay people to work their farms. They will educate their children. Money will circulate. The economy will improve better than ever.
Prior to the valorization of the Echinops plant, following the ABS principle, the plant was used and is still used by traditional doctors for treating various ailments.
this particular plant you are calling Echinops, I get 3 traditional work where they do for make person chop fine, for make and digestion be go fast, go normal. Then 2, for treat problem where person feel be unrealistic for social sex. If I feel want test them now, for person will not be active, I combine 2 other articles with ye, the B1. Then touch section for sugar, for the way person will get sugar be reduced, then the social life of man will be active. For abdominal pain, I use pump. Then when I don't boil and then select water for day, then I give and then person pump them. Then for person when not chop, I add some other one, you chop, you move up and so you chop the axe, you know again.
The roots are used for the preparation of different traditional Cameroonian dishes like achu and kui.
This so will be the user for cook soup for achu, where they call and semi-lampat.
Meanwhile, the people of this community, who are highly involved in Irish potatoes cultivation, have begun seeing more benefits in the cultivation of Echinops.
For Iraq, they go dig where they don't spray, they don't put angre, they don't put angre for year 2010.
ERuDeF and Man Fils company have, however, put in place a number of measures to ensure the sustainable exploitation of the plant.
Concerning the sustainable management plan, since this was a wide plan, we had first of all to understand the plan itself, and understanding the plan was to do what? We carried out the agronomic trial in the village. After this agronomic study, we selected that method, and farmers were trained on how to plant the root on the production technique, or the various production technique of the plant in the site. And after that training, they now went ahead, they selected their pieces of land for the planting of the seed, Echinops seed in their farm, and they went ahead. As for now, we can have about 30 hectares of land under production.
With growing interest in this plant, community members have opened up farms for Echinops cultivation.
This plant recently started 2013 to be a very important plant in this village and for Cameroon and worldwide, because we have so many people entering the village making research about this plant, and we see that if I don't try to plant my own Echinops in my farm during the greatest advantage, I will lose.
The ABS Echinops project in Magha-Bamumbu has given more exposure to the community and has gotten the attention of local, national and international community. Many developmental projects in Magha-Bamumbu by the Wabane Council have been attributed to the presence of the ABS Echinops project.
Since this project started here 2 years ago, I see that my council, in which I am the chairman of the finance committee, has redoubled its or reinforced its investment in this area. For instance, the extension of the light that just reached the market square to the secondary school is thanks to a project like this, because the council has realized that this community is going to gain a lot through this process.
The Environment and Rural Development Foundation and her partners are also engaged in the restoration of the degraded Mount Bamboutos and the protection of water catchments thanks to the presence of this project.
ERuDeF is able to plant trees around the landslide area that occur in Magha. So there are about 12,000 trees of Africana planted in that area. Then and about 10 catchment areas that has already been planted.
As the ABS Echinops project expands, the expectations of community members are high.
Concerning this Echinops, what if we are doing distillation of the essential oil here? The science students will be those to work there. So I think the future is orange for this community.
Being the pilot ABS project in Cameroon, national sensitization campaigns become really paramount.
Many people don't even know all what it's about, ABS process, access and benefit sharing of the Nagoya Protocol. Meanwhile, this is actually something that should be known by even the grassroots population, because they are the most concerned. You may be from a town, you may be in a village, you may be a civil servant, but it's important to know what the ABS process is about.
ERuDeF, with the support of Jeff UNDP, has sensitized and empowered local communities on the importance of ABS and the national procedures to follow.
We have learned that as far as the exploitation of genetical resources are concerned, it has a certain procedure that it has to follow. The ABS procedure must be applied. If any genetic material is to be exploited anywhere, they should go into that agreement that has to involve stakeholders like the state, the community, and the partner who is out to exploit the resource.
Meanwhile, sensitization tools have been produced for local, national and international visibility on the pilot ABS project in Cameroon. Being the first ABS project in the country, the challenges abound.
Challenges are many because the process is very new. It's new, in fact. All of us are just learning as the project is going. At the national level, we face this problem of non-availability of absence of a law, a legal framework on ABS. This really hinder the process because we first of all had to go and wait until they draft an interim decree on ABS, and this interim decree is not yet signed. So the government authority has to study it very well before they can go ahead with the signing. At the local level now, is this internal squabble between the chiefs and the fund. Our problem was who to use to implement this project, because under the ABS process, we need to work close to the community, and working close to the community is working with the chief or the fund of that particular community.
The ABS Echinops project, therefore, serves as a blueprint for the implementation of the ABS process in Cameroon.
The pilot project has helped the ministry to understand that ABS process is not something that you get up in the morning and it is being implemented at the twinkle of an eye. It has helped the ministry to look at the legal framework. It has helped the ministry to look at the administrative framework. It has helped the ministry to look at it in the aspect of commercialization.
Though one of the few African countries engaged in the implementation of the ABS principle, there is still a lot to be done in the country regarding the implementation of the ABS principle.
There are a number of activities, some of which, for example, involve the finalization of the ABS procedures, the drafting of the action plan, the putting in place of a national committee on ABS, sensitization of researchers, sensitization of the population, and you can name them. There are many activities we plan to do.
This is a clear indication that many more projects based on the ABS initiative will be making way into the country. Hence, an even louder call on the Cameroon government to hasten up the putting in place of a national ABS implementation policy and procedure. The pilot ABS project in Cameroon has been facilitated by Cameroon's leading conservation non-profit organization, the Environment and Rural Development Foundation ERuDeF, under the supervision of the Ministry of Environment, Protection of Nature and Sustainable Development, with technical support from Man and Nature and financial support from the UNDP Small Grants Program and other international partners.